bastard sermon, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Luke Young.
And I'm Lloyd Jansen.
And this week, we've got on comedian Cal Jansen. Everybody give it the fuck up for Cal. Jansen, son of a bitch. Sorry. I'm sorry, Cal.
Thanks.
Cal,
you have
Cal
the name of someone who like has some sort of Silicon Valley business, and like you're actually a billionaire, and no one would ever have that idea.
He dresses kind of like one, too.
Yeah, I have no business at all, but I do like to think that with any money, I would still be in a tattered shirt.
I don't know. I hear Cal Jansen, I think of like AAA baseball player.
Oh yeah.
It would sound good over a
And Cal
megaphone.
Jansen.
Yeah.
Next
I
up
don't
to
know
play.
enough about AAA baseball to comment.
Cal
What is AAA
Jansen.
baseball? Is that like the step down?
It's just like the minor league.
All right, okay.
You could have said minor
See,
league.
even in my hypothetical baseball career, I didn't quite make it to the top.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming and doing the fucking show.
Oh, I'm doing good. Nice and chipper. How are you?
Fucking solid. Terrible, actually. I've been not drinking for 3 weeks now, and it's killing me slowly in the inside. Trying to find fucking things to do around the house.
So he's just not
someone
himself.
said trying to make their life better.
Yeah, dude, it
Ooh.
fucking sucks dick. I hate it.
I
I
say-
would be drinking with you guys, like fucking driving my car home with one eye closed, like trying not to hit cops on the way.
He's just not himself. There's no flat bill or battle vest.
And
Yeah.
for anyone listening, it's not due to lack of availability.
Yeah.
Every surface surrounding me has booze on it.
Yeah, we're at my place. I mean,
Any drug, just smorgasbord. There's a whole charcuterie board of drugs that you can do.
Where?
It's like
Any
a flight.
variety.
You get
A flight of drugs. There's a mirror. There's a fucking
just like
needle. there's
it's
a
just like one of
spoon.
those like little wooden things that they're like that the small cups fit in.
That's amazing.
It's like, this is black tar.
You have China White, Molly, if that's your thing.
God
Psychedelics.
damn it.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty much all here if you want it.
Quit
Yeah.
making groundbreaking ideas, guys.
I quit smoking cigarettes that way that whenever I come over to Lloyd's house, I could just breathe the air and like I'll get my fix for the week.
That's what I did for like all of my high school career. Hanging
Just
out
sat in Joe's
basement.
basement. Yeah, we used to hang out in this dude's basement where his parents were just fine with us just ripping bong hits in a completely airtight basement where there's no windows and no fucking ventilation whatsoever. Just smoking, just fucking. Everybody has
Pall
3
Malls.
cigarettes in their mouth at all times. Yeah, they're getting Pall Mall menthols from fucking Kentucky and just chiefing them down all fucking day and night. Just hotboxing cigarettes and fucking weed smoke. Luke's like passing out 3 times a week. Like it was just a regular thing that he would just like at some point fall over and we'd all
So
call him a
not
pussy.
true.
Like, oh, you fucking pussy. You fucking blacked out again
up.
while he's just inhaling fucking a whole carton of cigarettes. Everybody else's eyes are red as the devil's dick the entire time. It's a little bit better than that here. At least you got ventilation.
There was like some sort of high I was able to achieve there that I've never been able to achieve anywhere else, where I would hit the bong and I'd have to leave the room and go sit down by the stairs and just like think on my breathing so I don't die.
This was the first place that I had panic attacks. Like smoking weed till I'd have a fucking panic attack and be like, oh
Maybe
god, I
that's
could hear
what I
my
was
heartbeat in
doing.
my intestines and like just like sitting there like just blinking too much while Brandon's just over there calling me a faggot like for just being too high, and I was just like
Did you ever get like the cripply hands from it? Where,
yeah,
like,
dude, where I was
mine-
like, I'm not opening my hand, like my hands don't open anymore.
Yeah, mine was in a car, and that's where it started. And then yeah, later, eventually after like the 9th one, you go to a doctor. You're like, I think my heart's blowing up, and they're like, no, it's anxiety. And I go, okay. They're like, you're making it worse because you're freaking out. And I go, okay, but what was the original freak out? Because before I wasn't freaked out until something felt like it was moving. And I was like, what started it though? Because I
Yeah,
wasn't
shitty
anxious
weed.
until I felt bad.
Yeah,
I
just
say I get the cripply hands thing not from weed, but from
from a crippling bone disorder.
yeah. I just wanted to make things happy.
Yeah, really cheer up the room.
You guys all get to think of me suffering regularly.
You get to show us up.
Yeah, I was like, Lloyd, how you been recently, bud? When I got here, we're organizing. He's like, yeah, I got about 2 hours of sleep. I've been laying in bed with a fever, just sweating, trying to get comfortable, but it wouldn't
Really?
come, praying for death the whole time. And I
Yeah,
was
past
like,
like 2 days. Today's the first day I felt even halfway decent. Well, yesterday I went and got tested.
Thank God, because if you had canceled today, I'd be really mad. But keep going. I have to come over here and nurse you back to health with the quickness. Keep
That'd be
going.
weird if you canceled. You're just like, well, he canceled, but he's like 18 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's always like, oh, we can record at my place. I'm like, if I can't do it, I'll just lay in there. You guys can still come here and...
Listen to you moan in agony in your fucking room back there.
You know how many times you guys would laugh if you heard me like,
I wouldn't be stoked to hear my friend just suffering in the fucking...
That would be terrible.
Yeah, look
I
at
would
Luke.
feel super uncomfortable.
You would also laugh like that the entirety
I
of the
probably
time.
would, yeah.
See, I think
Did you hear that one? He was super loud. Like shit like that.
Yeah, I think it would make for good podcasting. But no, like I was like feverish and had like the worst sore throat I've ever had in my fucking life.
Yeah.
For like 2 days, which all just seemed like one day because you just sleep in like 30-minute spurts.
Yeah.
And, you know, my body's all fucked up and gimpy anyway. So like I'd start cramping up real bad. I drank like 7 Gatorades that first day. And I still was like cramping because like the whole side of my bed, like I had to wash my sheets because the whole side of the bed that I was laying on was fucking wet.
Just from sweating. You can't afford to lose any more weight. When I first met you, you're 270. What are you down to? Fucking $185 now and shit like that?
217.
Oh, god damn, dude. You've lost, what, 60, 50 pounds?
Yeah.
And you're sweating through your mattress right now?
Yeah.
Is this where we shoot the confetti guns?
No.
What, for his AIDS? Pew, pew. Congratulations on it. It finally went full-blown. Been waiting all week for this.
Only took 6 years, but I got there.
Yeah, dude. Quit shaving fucking time off your life. You ain't got much left, so preserve what...
Shut up.
Stop leaving the house.
He's gonna live forever.
Yeah, that's how human life works. Well, it's all crippled up with fucking 9 back surgeries and a broken femur. I'm sure it ends well.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'll way late into your 90s.
I'll get deep into chaos magic. I'll start drawing circles. I'll jerk off onto them. I'll light candles. I don't care, dude. I'll do it all.
I'll start wearing crystals and putting witch tapestry up in my house
man,
and burning
full moons
sage
and all that
for-
shit, man.
for
All that
Lloyd.
weird candle, incense, sage burning, weird shit.
I'll jerk them off while I speak Latin and whatever it takes. I'll do it. I'll make sure that Lloyd gets better.
Lloyd will live forever.
I'll make
right.
an Instagram post.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's start a GoFundMe.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go fuck you.
Oh, your updates finally started working. We waited fucking 30 minutes for the computer updates to start going, and now finally it's got a percentage thing, so we could turn
I'm
this
so
fucker off and
thankful
cue all the
because
shit up.
I want to do your shit talking bit here in a little bit.
Shit talking about Bernie Mac?
No.
What shit talking? Oh, about the dude? All right. Okay, fair enough. In the meantime, let's talk about fucking shit that our guest is doing. You just sat on the highway for the last 3 hours waiting on AAA, right? But you were on your way to a show. What were you going to do? What's your regular Tuesday night shit? Do you have like a mic that you're doing regularly
No, it
that
wasn't
people can
tonight
check out?
that happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no, that was 2 days ago. Yeah, that was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I was on my way to Indianapolis to do what is aptly called the Sunday show.
Real creative.
Yeah,
Love
it's
it.
a great show though. Cam O'Connor and Alex Price run that.
Is it the Helium?
No, it's just like out of a bar. It's actually it used to, I think, just be Cam's Rocket Ship Comedy, but now it's they coalesced into his that, and then Alex's Let's Comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I always wonder they don't put me on a lot of their shows. I just was like, it's Let's. I don't even remember the name of it. So that's it's definitely Let's Comedy. Book me. Again, no, but I had a flat. It was actually a brand new tire, but it turns out when I got the last time it popped, it was because I needed a control arm or something. There was something wrong with that, so I got that put in. I have my family does car stuff. And which is a blessing and a curse, and this is why, is because then they wouldn't let me pay them, but then they also didn't do the alignment that you're supposed to do after that.
So it just got worse after it was
Yeah,
put
but
in?
I didn't realize until just the other day that I was like, I'm going straight, and I looked down and my things turned like 15 degrees to the left for me to go
fuck.
straight, and I was like, I should get that taken care of soon. And I even remember, on that drive, I was like, this is really pulling. I really got to do that tomorrow. And then fucking perfectly in the middle between Cincinnati and Indy, it fucking popped. And then, I pay for roadside because I like to think that I do a lot more of these out-of-town shows than I do. And yeah, so then it's like, oh, we got a tow truck coming 30 minutes. And then an hour later, it's like, did they get there? It's an automated thing. I go, no. They go, type N. Because NO is hard for them to process. So I type N, and then they go, it'll be 15 minutes. And then like another hour, they're like, are they there? And I was like, N. And then they didn't give me an estimated time for like another 30 minutes. And then it was like 1 minute. Nope, they're not coming.
Yeah, it's a pain in the nuts.
But this was Sunday, so I mean, there wasn't anywhere for me to go, even if they had come in 15 minutes.
Right.
I mean, I had a donut, but I'm not going to go another hour away from home on a donut.
I think you're supposed to drive like 8 miles max on a donut, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that when I had to put a donut in my car. I just drove that bitch all week
And is
back
that-
and
and
forth
is
to
that-
work.
and is
All
that-
day, drunk driving the car while I was all like, this thing's all fucked up.
And
Like,
I always wonder, is that cumulative or is that like per time? Because if it's cumulative, I need a new donut because I've already
Yeah.
done this fucking 3 other times.
Yeah.
All right, so the way it was explained to me, it's that because your car is tilted while you have that, so it's more about like the alignment and
Okay.
suspension
So
stuff.
it's not the integrity of the donut itself.
Yeah, like the tire's just a normal ass tire.
yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna last as
Smaller.
long as any other tire will.
But yeah, so
Well, then the best part. So then I get picked up 3 hours later, brought back home. My car is finally brought to a tire place, and then so the next day I call that place, and I mean it's an hour 20 minutes away from home. So I'm like, call them at 10:30. They're like, yeah, we're gonna start on it in 30 minutes. It's in Shelbyville, which Shelbyville has the first Dunkin' Donuts from Indianapolis to Cincinnati. I've done that drive so many times, so I know where that is, and I've always joked about moving there, and it's this cute little quaint town. It's like every business in this one part of town is called Shelbyville, whatever the business is. It's like Shelbyville Pet Groomer, and the one I was at was like Shelby Tire, and like, so I was like, this place is so, it's like it's this cool little.
Shelbyville sadomasochism and bondage store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Actually, I think that's right behind the tire place. But
Indiana, so next to that there's Shelby lynching ropes.
yeah, which actually could just be in.
Get your burning
it-
crosses here.
I don't really, which is ironic because you'd think they would just have that in the bondage store, but they actually made 2 businesses.
They're twin brothers. They're-
Yeah, he's like, we're both into ropes, but for different purposes. But
Both
one,
of the scouts.
one likes tying up fat chicks. The other,
tying up fat dicks.
the other likes typing N. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, but so then the next day they tell me at 10:30 they're gonna start on it in a half hour. I wait like an hour and a half, get a ride back to Shelbyville. I make my ride, go home because I'm like, nah, it'll be fine. I mean, it's my girlfriend. She has a kid. The kid's in the car because he's not gonna stay home. So like, I felt bad that they were even doing any of this. She picked me up the first time, so now she has to do another hour and a half there and back just to drop me back off to my car. I get there, they haven't even pulled it in the fucking garage yet. So I'm like, it's fine. They said it'll be like an hour and a half. So then I just walk around. So I just did another 3 hours, just walked around Shelbyville, and I was like, yeah, I always said I wanted to check this place out. So I fucking saw like
Boy,
every
was I
resident-
wrong.
No, it wasn't bad. It
That
really
Lubbock,
wasn't bad.
Texas.
I found a bar that served food and you could still smoke inside, which I don't know if is
That's
even. I don't even
amazing.
know if that. I know Kentucky's one of the only states that they kind of still let you.
But then you got to go to Kentucky. So
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I think
But-
Indiana has like, I think it's like by county or something.
Okay,
there.
see, I wasn't sure because like there are some bars. There was a bar in like I'm from the suburbs here. I'm in Milford. And there was a bar that for years after the smoking ban, they just paid the fines because they made so much money being the smoking bar.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, which how it should be. Just get a license. You should have a smoking license, if anything.
You should be allowed to fucking smoke if the people agree to it. They
If the-
come into
the
the
owners,
business.
yeah.
It's like, well, if you don't go to a different business,
Yeah.
like we don't have to come here. But it gets freezing fucking
then-
balls cold in the middle
And
of
then
the
they always say
wintertime.
with the bartenders and the servers, and you're like, yeah, but most places aren't smoking now, so they don't. Like you said, they also don't have to work there.
They have a
But-
choice.
Yeah.
Like if this inhibits them from getting a job at that place, then I'm sure there's plenty of chain restaurants that aren't going to allow smoking. So whose life are you saving? You're willing participants and making money at the place where they're going to make more fucking money because there's a smoking section.
Chili's
More
needs
people are-
bartenders too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that sounds like a fucking horrific time.
Well, I will say it was nice to, I mean, when's the last time you guys sat and watched a sunset? You know what I mean? I got to do that.
Fuck that.
I got to
don't
spend
wanna
some time
watch
in
those
nature
sunsets.
with a dead bird and more sweat bees than fucking,
I used to regularly drive down Pippin Road during the sunset and smoke a joint because if you turn down a certain way, you like go down this long straightaway and there's just nothing but farmland on the left side of you. And you have a perfect shot of the sunset and sunrise.
Is there any park that you could have parked your car and watched, though? Do you always just have to be driving your vehicle and chiefing down a blunt? Like, just fucking doing a gravity bong in your front seat? Like,
you couldn't have gone up and parked on the side of 74 by, like, a swampy fucking sewer drain?
yeah.
You know, I could have. Fuck, I didn't think about that.
Hey, it's, you know, they didn't get rid of it either. You can still go. I might head back. And, I mean, you know, I kind of feel the connection to the place now. That dead bird, me and him became friends.
Yeah.
I'm gonna visit up there for you know, for him.
R.I.P. Carl.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean though with that pain of the control arm stuff. I deliberately, being an idiot, did not get that fixed for like 2 years. Right? I didn't get my control arm, like the alignments, fixed for 2 years. I was spending so much money on getting my front two tires replaced like every 6 months, every 5 to 6 months. I'm spending so much money.
Yeah, that's about how long it takes, actually. That's about 5
The
months.
best thing to ever happen to me was for that Pontiac to finally die, so I'd stop spending money on new tires.
Well, that's the thing. I was set to have like one long night and like maybe make like $40. And then instead, I spent like basically 2 entire days and like $180 and just.
You're spending more on gas on your way to Indianapolis than you are making.
You can get there and back in like a half tank.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a hybrid or something. You get a nice car.
No, it's not. See, it's a 2012, and it's like the nicest I've ever been in. And I mean, still, obviously, I mean, all that happened.
Yeah, that sucks, man. What's your like normal spot? Do you have an open mic that you're not either running or a mic that you're doing on the regular or like a spot that you're always at where people can go check you out?
I mean, I do all the ones around here. That's the I just recently did most of the bar shows in town, so I don't have any of those coming up. But yeah, I mean, I do most of the open mics. If I wasn't here tonight, Tuesday, I would be probably at the Proof, Faust's mic, and yeah, just any of them.
Fair enough.
The end of the Monday. We pretty much only have like, well, there's 2 on Monday. I was going to say we have like 3, but I guess I don't want to piss anyone off. But I pretty much, the Hub on Monday.
Oh, who's the shitty one? Which one's the shitty one?
I'm not going to say it's a shitty one. It's just not the one I go to on Monday.
All right, so it's the shitty one.
I did it last Monday, not yesterday, because I was exploring my favorite town, Shelbyville. I'm looking for places to sleep if the place closed before they got my tire. But last
the Monday
Monday
before, the Hub wasn't open.
Yeah,
right?
Hub wasn't open, so I went and did the one at West Side Brewery. But like I said, I'm in fucking Milford, so it's like, which actually I used to run a mic there, and everyone would always go, it's so far. I go, I know, I drive to all the other fucking mics from here.
Why don't you move closer? That's an option.
Yeah.
Isn't it cheaper
true.
than Milford too? Do you have like a good ass like side job or something? You're making crazy.
I'm actually
money
not working at all right now because I saved a bunch of money taking up more responsibilities during being essential and everything.
Yeah, it sounds like Milford would be like more money to live in. What and further from the mics? Why not get somewhere closer? Make it easier on yourself, man. All right, fair enough. Live where you want to fucking live, but that reminds me about the mics. Did you go finally, Luke? Did you do the fucking Wednesday shit?
No.
No.
Why not? You coward.
More
Why not?
girlfriend stuff.
More just can. Why don't you? All right, I'll save it for the Patreon.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's also my reason for where I live. More girlfriend stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're still dating.
Yeah. Holly. There.
Yeah. I like her. She's good.
I was strongly considering just throwing myself off the deep end and just going to Chameleon Thursday.
You should just quit being a pussy and go and do it. You've been writing for how long now? Where should he start? Is there a good first fucking spot?
Chameleon would be a great one.
Yeah.
I need to pop up this week because I missed fucking Sunday. I didn't go to Chameleon last week because I was like, well, I did Monday, Tuesday. I got the Sunday show. I'll fucking be lazy. But yeah, I mean, I fucking missed
What's
yesterday.
that Sunday,
missed
Mike?
today.
It's a dude. He also has a flat bill. He dressed like a more colorful version of me, kind of, sort of. The long hair,
That's funny.
super fun Sunday something fucking show. I forget the name of it, but Hayes does it. They'll have like wrestlers pop in and do crazy shit.
You're talking about Giles. That's not a mic. He does like a little kind of talk show thing.
Yeah, it's like variety showish kind of.
It almost reminded me of your old podcast, Lloyd, because it is like 4 people sitting around. Well, I guess like this too. They kind of bring up topics. I haven't seen a lot of it, but yeah, seems fun.
Yeah, Cal was on an episode of my old podcast, Four Assholes in Ohio.
We also did one of Rand's in this same table that never got released because
Rumble
we
Lips?
were fucked up.
Yeah,
Was it Rumble Lips then? There's been like a couple iterations.
Yeah, it was Rumble Lips.
Speaking of good, you want another whiskey? I'll help you out.
Yeah, actually.
Ice cubes.
Yeah, if you got them.
All right.
Man, I feel like get it.
We fancy.
I'm trying to tone down the consideration. Yeah, get it. Not that cube, the other cube.
Snap. Get to it, buddy. Snap.
Cal's channeling his inner Don Draper. It's a Mad Men reference to a show I've never watched it once.
You know, I try to watch it. I can't. I feel like I really need. Really need to try, and not just half-ass watch it.
I watched like 2 episodes and realized I didn't care at all about anything that was happening, so I never watched it again. So
Fair enough.
But I still
also
made a
hate
reference
that time
to it.
period.
Yeah.
Guys, the fucking computer's finally working. Can we pause this and queue up all the shit that I had planned?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We'll be right back, cuties.
And we're back. All right, sorry, folks. We had to get some shit queued up. Wait, are you doing something? Did you have something you needed to do? Oh, they're already sent. They should just be on the YouTube tab. If you go to that, you can pull them up. Yeah, we're good. Do you want to start with that?
Start with what?
The fucking the portfolio. All right, so this takes a little bit of setup.
Oh, thank
so there's
God.
a dude that I went to art school with or whatever. And
Hold on, I've been waiting for years since we started this show really to talk about this guy, but he's for whatever reason for a little while it's been off limits. But I'm glad we're now.
Why was he off
about
limits?
this.
Why was the reason that we couldn't talk shit
Because
about
of our
him?
friends who were friends with him.
That no longer like us at all?
Correct.
All right, so yeah, we don't have a fucking... There's no problem talking shit about him anymore.
Correct.
I don't know why there was ever a reason that I gave a fuck.
I never gave a fuck. I hate that guy.
When Rand
I don't
Barnacle
like
came
him.
on, we burned the bridge down to that friendship forever anyways.
It was hilarious,
It doesn't
though.
matter. Yeah. We talked about the diarrhea pig hallway and shit like that.
Uh,
Anyways, so there's a dude that I used to go to art school with, and for just like a normal like art school nerd, his art's fine. Like if you're even for art school, like you shouldn't fucking be in art school for the level of art that he's doing because it's dog shit. But this is a guy that went on to try to pursue a career in doing tattoos and fucking forever damaging people's skin, just constantly ruining people's lives. And he learned in a fucking Trader's World van. So there's like a burned out bus, right? Like the hippie bus that fucking Dennis Leary, not Dennis Leary, Timothy Leary. Yeah, Timothy Leary's doing the fucking electric Kool-Aid acid testing and shit like that.
Not just Dennis Leary singing a band. I'm an asshole.
Yo.
I was just imagining them mixed together in my head. You gotta tune in. You gotta tune in.
What
Leather
happened?
jackets.
Is Dennis Leary
Right
still
now.
doing shitty comedy that he's stealing from people? Is that still a thing? Is it?
I don't know if he's put anything out in a long time.
I haven't heard dick from Dennis Leary since that shitty fireman show was on TV. But Rescue Me or whatever the
That show
fuck it
wasn't
was.
too bad.
Well, I think that's what it was. I think he accomplished his life goal by acting as a fireman, and he said, "I'm done."
He put out that fucking documentary, the fuck about Detroit being burned to the ground or whatever the fuck. I think he financed that. Then he was like, "And I'm out. See you, fucks." Anyways, yeah. So this guy, this art student, learned how to tattoo at it's either Trader World or Treasure's Isle, both within the same vicinity of each other, from some fucking sketchy meth addict dude in the back of a burned out bus. And that's where he would tattoo people, was at a booth at Trader's World, which I don't know if you know a lot about tattoos, but the fucking booth of Trader's World is not the place to go and go get them. Like the same place that they're selling like fucking knickknacks and like old Star Wars figurines, not the place that you want to go to
I was
get.
gonna say I know a lot more about Trader's World than I do about tattoos, and I would still come to the same consensus. as
Yeah.
you.
It's a tattoo shop right next to the custom rebel flag blanket stand.
And the Auntie Anne's fucking pretzel shop. Like that's not the place
No, it's
to
not
go.
Auntie Anne's. It's like Uncle Arnie's twisted bread with salt pieces.
Yeah, there's just fucking bubble gum stuck to it. And shit
The
like
funny
that.
thing about it though is like the hustle. I'm not friends with him on social media, but I do peep it from time to time. He doesn't. Tattoo artists will hustle. They'll show their pieces. They'll show what they're working on. They'll show their clients. They'll like plug the shop and the shop location, and it's not there.
Yeah, here's dude's art. Just
Like
as
how
far
do you
as
plug like, hey, come on down to Trader Joe's. Like check out my spot.
Maybe he's doing like a Banksy thing where he's like, I'll tattoo you, and then like a week later it'll just fucking like fall apart.
yeah, the
bubble
infection just causes the skin to just melt right
He's
off.
like,
right
see,
there.
I'm making a statement about tattoos.
Actually, the funny part is
I call myself Bunksy.
we referenced this guy on we had a legendary tattoo artist, Dana Brunson, come on the podcast. He knows like Sailor Jerry and Ed Hardy, like personally, like fucking hung out with everybody that's ever done some of the most legendary tattoos, and we showed him some of his art, and he was like, it's almost so crummy that it's good. He's like, in a weird way, like if he could just admit that it's a shitty piece of art or a shitty tattoo, it's almost like a cool prison tattoo because it's so bad. It's almost like, since everybody has a tattoo now, you've seen a million good tattoos. Now here's shitty tattoo art. He was like, he was like, I can't imagine he thinks that he's bad though, right? He thinks he's really good at this, right? And I was like, oh yeah, he thinks he's awesome. And he was like, yeah, this guy's fucking terrible. Like, just like, having this legendary fucking member of the Cincinnati tattoo community just breaking him down like that was fucking hilarious. But we
gold.
had still never brought anything up. But yeah, so my girlfriend works at a tattoo shop, and I said she likes to clown on really bad tattoo artists all the time, but just send me like just dog shit pictures constantly of just shitty stuff that other tattoo artists are doing. I'm sure it's like, I mean, you're a comedian, so you're secretly talking shit about other comedians you fucking hate and think have hack jokes.
Yeah.
This podcast later and fucking like whatever other comedians and shit like that. Just I'm sure you've got chats that you go on about with your fucking industry friends talking shit about other stuff, just like anybody does anywhere.
I like
with
them as
anything.
people though.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of comics, artists, musicians. Like, that's most of my friend group.
Right.
There's a handful of them where I'm like, yeah, I'll show up to your art I'll be there, man.
And then just talk crazy shit about it later. But
Well, I mean, there's someone I genuinely like, but like I hate having to go and like. He's like, dude, I spent a lot of time on this, and this is really great. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, dude, it's
Well, see, that's one of the perks about like I know you guys don't know as much, but Lloyd here does. Like as much as I'm around, like I'm not like a super involved guy. You know what I mean? I'm always always like kind of a fringy
You don't
guy.
have to
You
click.
know, I was like that. Yeah, that same guy in high school and stuff. You know, people always say that kind of shit, but it's like. I mean, it's like they say, I stopped telling even great people, even when they do great, I stopped telling them they even do good, because there was always that time, like even when I would fucking suck, and people would be like, hey man, nice set. I'm like, don't do that. Like, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, but yeah, I hate that awkwardness.
That
when
being said-
people would go like, oh man, that sucked, and I'm like, hey man, it happens.
Cal's
Like,
also the kind of person, when you genuinely do give him a compliment, about half the time it looks like you physically injured him. Like, I remember one time outside of Chameleon, I was like, dude, I really like that joke, blah, 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 and I like where you switched this to this, because I'd seen him perform it a couple of times. And it looked like I was like grabbing his nipple and like turning it harder and harder as
what
I
he
went
means
to...
is he complimented me and I got a boner.
Oh, well, are your boners extremely painful?
I'm
It
actually
can be,
not,
depending
I'm
on how
actually
much
not into
blue chew.
nipple play. If I'm ever single down the road and someone listens to this and tries to win me over, don't twist my nipple. It won't give me a boner.
I
Just
found out
as
that I
butter.
was, but I wasn't super into it. Like, it makes the inside of my chest itch, but it makes my dick harder. So I was like, it's like a weird trade-off for me, where I'm just like, do I want you to play with my nipple for the more hard dick, or do I just take another blue chew
Then
and
again, maybe
fucking
it's-
not have the inside of my chest itch?
Maybe I actually do like it, and then it's like what Lloyd's saying. Like I feel like they're doing too much for me, so it's like maybe physically I like it, but then I'm like, oh, I don't know. Or should you be playing with my nipple? Did I earn it?
You gotta earn your nipple play, son? What are you talking about?
But no. I mean,
you
honestly,
deserve some nipple play. Give yourself a little credit. You want nipple play? I don't know you that well.
right now.
You've earned it. All right.
But in reality, it seems like I'm like being really modest or something in those cases, Lloyd. But I really think it's like my not clinical narcissism, but my kind of like social narcissism, where like when somebody compliments me, I just hear them talk about the joke, and then I just spew every thought I have. But I meant to say this, and it's like I fucking skip over the nice thing the fucking person did.
Yeah, me and
That is
Lloyd.
literally mine and Cody's dynamic is out narcissisting each other while him trying not to get hit for interrupting me.
Yeah, duck and punch. Like, which way is that thermos gonna come? Is he gonna go left hand or right hand? Like, I don't know what he's gonna have more power in this week. So I gotta
There's
duck
been
a
like
little
one
bit.
or two episodes where he'll say, like, he'll interrupt me and I just go,
Just stare at me, ready to murder me.
But I always like to clarify, not clinical like narcissism where I can't empathize with other people. I just I'm just constantly thinking about what do I feel about this? What did I do? You know what I mean? It's just that kind of social narcissism.
Oh yeah. Well, to get back to the point, the reason to bring that up is that like she's always sending me pictures of shit that she's talking shit about with her tattoo industry friends. Of like, look at this shitty tattoo. And I was like, I went to school with this guy who's a really, really fucking terrible artist. He's a nice guy. Like, he's genuinely a nice guy, but he's ruining. Well, yeah, he's not fun to hang out with. He's nice enough though.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, he sucks to hang out with personality-wise, but you can't say he's not a nice person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you can't shit on him for being a bad... He isn't a bad person. He's just an uninteresting human being that I have no interest in doing anything on any level with as far as, like, talking to or sharing a story with. And he's no relatable information to share, but he's not shitty about it. It's not a malicious, boring, you know what I mean? He's just fucking boring. But, so I won't say his fucking name still. I mean, we can. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a
what
shit.
is his name?
It's Brian Hughes, if you want to go and check him out. Brian Hughes. And my
Go
girlfriend,
down to
the
Trader
reason...
Joe's and hit him up for a sweet piece.
Yeah, the dumpster behind fucking
Fucking
Kroger's.
$10
I like you
and
just
a
said
by
Trader-
Bogarts.
double, and
I like
you'll
you just said
fucking
Trader
hook
Joe's.
you up with a half sleeve.
I like that you just said Trader Joe's, which is almost the diametric opposite of Trader's World.
Well, yeah, but it's funny to think that he's behind next to the dumpster of Trader Joe's, like right by the fucking the truck dock, just sitting on a milk crate with his fucking
He's like,
machine.
no, I got a new shop I set up over in Kenwood, man.
Yeah, dude, right by the fucking the dumpster compactor or the
Between-
cardboard
it's between the
compactor.
grease trap and the compactor, man. I've tapped into the wires of the compactor. I'm running machines off that.
He's got a car battery sitting just strapped up to a fucking the shittiest like RC car motor and sharpened guitar string is what I imagine he's doing this horrific shit on people with. The reason we have these pictures, the reason we have his quote unquote portfolio, and I'm doing big air quotes while I say that, is because I was like, Chrissy, please add this man so that you can see all the dog shit that he's doing. And he had posted a picture on Facebook about like talking about how. Oh God, I gotta actually bring it up. I'm not gonna be able to
Is
bring it
that
up
a
because you gotta be his
double-sided
friend to
dildo?
see it. I don't know. He painted this when we were in art class. I could tell because so this is part of his portfolio. Something that he did fucking 12 years ago when we were in high school.
Looks like a bowling pin butt plug with a face.
I was gonna say bowling pin, but yeah, like
We graduated class of 2012, so this is literally fucking 9-10 years ago that he's done this art. I remember it distinctly because his friend helped him draw it, who is an amazing artist. His friend Anthony is an incredible, amazing, fucking super talented artist. He does like hentai art now for people on the internet, or like if you're like some fucking
What's the
4chan
website?
creep, if you're some 4chan creep that like you can't fuck girls, but you're jerking off to somebody's Facebook, you'll fucking I'll draw her with tits, and then you can go jerk off to with your dick in her mouth, sort of like commission situation and stuff like that. Anthony, I don't know how to get to his shit, but he's
That's the
amazing.
saddest
He helped him
kind of
draw that.
commission.
And then he fucking, it's a super sad one, but it's also a way to make money, so don't
Can
hate
you-
the hustle, baby.
Can
But
you draw it on a honeydew melon for me?
yeah, dude, he's a good art sculptor.
I want to put it in the microwave for about 45 seconds.
Yeah, heat up a little honey and dump it in the mouth hole part of it. Well, so his friend helped him draw that, and he was really into Alex Pardee style art, which is what this is supposed to be a poor ripoff of. And he fucking watercolor painted it like a 3-year-old fucking painted it. And this is part of his portfolio that he's showing off to get into a tattoo shop, because as soon as Chrissy added him on Facebook, the very first message that she got from the man within 5 minutes of her adding him is, I see that you're at a tattoo shop. I'm looking to get into a tattoo shop. Can you give me, is there any way that I could show you my portfolio and fucking maybe I could get, she messaged me the message, was like, should I block him? And I was like, No,
Give him the
please.
truth.
I was like,
portfolio.
get the portfolio. Get the
She's
portfolio.
like, but then I have
It's
to
so
find a way to
important.
say no.
Yeah, no, she just tells him no. It's
I'll talk to my boss. That's what you.
Exactly. That's exactly what she did.
I'll talk to my boss and then never message you.
I have to pull this up because this is
I always
fucking
forget that
hilarious.
it's so hard for people to tell people no. So now I'm thinking I should start a business where,
You do it for
like,
him.
you can just like have me call the person.
No, you should. What
They
was
said
that
no.
movie where fucking
Dirty Work.
Billy Bob Thornton
Oh, no.
was like taught people like spineless nerds how to stand up for themselves and get girls and shit.
Fuck, with
With the motherfucker John.
heater. or
John, yeah, he was Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
That movie.
fuck.
You should be Billy Bob Thornton. You should get nerds in a classroom at like a rec center and be like, "This is how you say no."
Are people gonna see these? Are you gonna post these up?
This is just for you guys. We should post him though. We should absolutely post. But he's a member of the group and has tried periodically once a year. He tries to get on this podcast. Like, hey man, I do tattoos and fucking. I'm a DJ now.
My girlfriend
I'm
used
DJ
to work with
Narfox.
him.
Well,
Yeah,
if
my
he was
girlfriend
like-
used to work with him, and he would pester her at work for her to talk to me about getting him on the show. I was like, no fucking way.
If he's
You're
a
not coming on
fan,
the
I don't
show.
think he's gonna try anymore. You
That's
guys
fine.
just dropped his
Hey Brian,
name.
I don't like you.
I mean, at the very least, if you didn't say the name, he could have been like, nah, they don't mean me. Even though I also did like a Pokemon bowling pin thing.
No, it's fine if he hates us. I don't give a fuck. Like, his art's terrible and he's ruining people's lives with his tattoos.
Stop tattooing.
These are bad examples.
I would even-
because
I
there's
honestly-
worse shit than this.
I
This
would
is
even
dog
say
shit.
some of it is fine to look at as like a drawing, but yeah, as a tattoo.
That-
I mean, I don't have
hold
any
on.
tattoos.
That
I can't
tattoo.
speak for it, but
Go back to the other one that was just up. That looks like
Somebody got punched in the arm over the top
not
of a
just that,
child's
but
henna
it looks
tattoo.
like a watermark tattoo. Like you got that out of a 50-cent machine, a 75-cent quarter machine, and you just stuck that on her thigh and got it wet.
that's that style that was hot for like as long as it took them to make a BuzzFeed article, where it was like they tried to do like the water
Can you type in his name?
It looks like
the watercolor
Brian
style.
Hughes.
It looks like it bled out.
it also looks like it's
There.
the wallpaper to your mom's like house and living room where it's just connected again and again and again, a bunch of like vines and hearts.
It looks like the wallpaper on
Yeah.
every like South Carolina rental house.
Check this out. Who's good at reading out loud? Luke, can
Oh,
we get
that's
a
terrible.
can we get an accent? I like how about a Chinese accent? Can we get a
Oh.
Chinese accent? You do it flawlessly, otherwise somebody's gonna call you racist on the internet.
I was
I'm
gonna say, I
kidding.
was-
You don't have to do a Chinese
I
accent.
wasn't
Go
in the
ahead.
room during this part of the podcast.
Can I get a Mandarin accent, please? No, just read it.
Not gonna get discouraged by a shop telling me no. Just got to keep moving and working harder. That's all. Either way, I got too much going on right now to get down about. And are you kidding me? I freestyle drew this today. Also, I wouldn't want to work there anyways. Also,
All in caps.
I wouldn't want to work there anyways because who doesn't wear a mask in a pandemic while tattooing is beyond me. Also,
This
that
is-
was an entire run-on sentence.
He said-
or no, there was
Talking
two
to the front of the
sentences.
mic. Into the front of the mic.
He says it's today, like it's like a fish meal. Like he's like, oh, it's very fresh. You're like, it's okay, you drew it today.
Also-
I didn't care if you drew it 3 weeks ago. I'd be like, it looks good or bad. You know what I mean? It just,
just
it's not like, oh, it looks better because it was today.
But look at what it is that he's drawn. What the fuck is that supposed to be? That's not. You were saying some of it is a little pleasing to the eye, sort of. To even look at this dog shit. What the fuck is there to look at? It's supposed to be a skull with like smoke coming out of the top of it.
say, it
That
looks like
fucking
a-
shit. I only know is
That
smoke.
looks like something
That's
Cody
his-
drew in
that's a-
second grade.
Yeah.
Especially because you said, it's funny that you said do the Chinese accent at first because it looks like kind of like one of those like oni demons. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
This?
But then his jaw, like if he had
talking about this.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
honey
yeah.
mask?
But that one's jaw isn't over. See, I feel bad because the
Dude, it's terrible.
Don't feel
you
bad.
Can say
He's
it's
dog
terrible.
shit. He's a terrible artist, and he's trying to get work in a
it
real
looks
shop.
like the poo
but you
monster
have to
from
be able to
Conquer That
No,
object.
hold on, you're talking to somebody who does open mics and whatever, so he's
But
seen,
this is the paradigm that I deal with is because like there are good people who don't get the shit they should get, and they have to keep that attitude. And then you see these people where people, a mass amount of people feel the way you guys feel about his artwork, and then he's like but I just gotta fucking stick with it, and that is the attitude to have. But sometimes
It's not
you gotta know
though.
when to
You
go.
give up at a certain point.
But-
Brian, if you're
but-
listening, you suck at this, and
but
your
like
art
Lo-
isn't your calling. Don't
Like
do
Lloyd's
it.
saying, I'm not exactly making my living off of stand up right now. So it's like you fucking lay and you go, am I that fucking guy?
Yeah, like I think anybody who sees people constantly trying to express like their artistic side is gonna have a harder time like shitting on someone doing the exact same thing.
I wouldn't have a problem if he wasn't ruining people's lives with his
But yeah,
fucking
putting
tattoos.
it on somebody. But then again,
It's
I
a
mean,
different level of
but I
fucking
mean,
up people's
but-
lives.
But people aren't letting him freestyle on their skin, are they? I mean, he's doing that thing like where you print it on
you
first.
go
and then
into
you
a
over it.
shop,
like they
you have
know
s-
what they're getting, but maybe they're the same people who can't say no.
Listen
they need
here,
Lloyd
man.
to go in and say, no, they're not getting
he
that
shouldn't be
tattoo.
allowed to do shit like this on people's bodies.
Listen here, man.
He just absolutely shouldn't be allowed in a professional setting to do it.
is
Something
that like
like this.
a clacker butt plug?
No, it's a kunai knife from Naruto. It's
Listen.
there's a bell on it.
If
You'd have to
he
watch Naruto. I don't want to
has a
explain the whole nerd lore.
portfolio that has a picture of a painting he did more than 10 years ago at high school. This man is not pumping out art prolifically.
Yeah.
He is like, I drew up a skull with roses today. Is that what you want?
That was not a skull with red. That is some dog shit that my daughter, who's almost 6 years old, could do better.
Hold on.
job
Don't,
doing.
yeah, don't
And
even
he's
compare
trying
Ari.
to put art.
Ari is leagues above Brian, okay? Let's just make that clear.
That shit is not even refrigerator art quality. If my daughter came at me with that, I was like, "You can do better, sweetheart."
this
Like
part-
I'd crumple it up in front of her and throw it in the garbage can. You could do better than that.
This
baby girl.
picture, I can go a little harder on because this one, it's not even necessarily the art that it looks like the tattoo technique wasn't done. Like the edges look like you know
blown
what I mean?
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucked
like
up.
one
What you would
part-
hear is a scratcher.
Yeah, but he's doing it in a shop, quote unquote shop.
Well, yeah,
a
that
booth
person
at
has like
Trader
an
Joe's.
open sore.
Yeah, I
on
was
the-
going to say, look at that wound on
and
the
I
heel.
think, and I think that's from him. So
And-
like that, I could talk shit about.
And he
I can
didn't shave
smell
it
the
all the
MRSA
way.
from here.
You can also see the fuck where he didn't shave the
Yeah.
fucking tattoo all the way down. When he did it, he's tattooing over people's hair.
Dude, when you go and sit down in this man's chair and he's like, "Oh, okay, I gotta shave this off,"
Bro.
he walks 15 feet down the road and hops in a dumpster and fishes out a broken shard of glass or an old razor to shave you off, man.
He just got a sewing needle wrapped in thread and a little jar of Indian ink.
This is supposed to be fucking tattoo flash right here. Save the cosmic spacer. It looks like it says Tuttles. I don't even know if it says turtles. Maybe it says turtles. I'm not sure. I think he
Looks
spelled
like
it
it says
wrong.
turtles.
Yeah. Save the space turds and recycle your Saturn rings. And it's the worst drawing of a fucking turtle that you've ever seen in your entire life. And I guess that's supposed to be some cosmic shit on his back. But it just looks like somebody put blue and pink paint into their asshole and farted onto the top of this fucking dinner napkin that he's drawn
It
this on.
looks like a T-shirt you'd have airbrushed at the beach before you went home from a
And
shitty
It
vacation.
looks like it was a circle jerk, and one of the guys was from the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, it's some of the fucking worst art. And fine, if he was just doing this, I would have no reason to talk shit. If he was only doing that and not doing this, where you can see visible scabs moments after he's done the tattoo and fucking blown out lines on every single line that he's done on something that's just a tracing, isn't even his own art. He can't even fucking do a straight line. You're ruining people's fucking lives with your tattoos, Brian. Stop doing it. And yeah, we're clowning you to save anybody listening from ever getting a fucking $9 tattoo from you, because you don't have any business doing this to people. I won't talk shit about your shitty garbage ass fucking rip off DJing shit that you're doing.
Hold
that
on.
you're just like chopping up other people's shit and slapping it all together and not actually doing any original making of music. I won't completely
just called
shit
being a
all over
DJ.
that. Yeah, well, I won't completely shit all over fucking that, and you're selling other people's fucking clip art that you've stole off Google on a T-shirt and making money doing that. I won't completely shit on that, but you're fucking people up with a fucking tattoo machine, and I don't care that you're doing art and expressing yourself, but
this.
if you can't objectively look at your art and say, I need help in these directions. If you look at your art and you're like, I'm the master of the sketchy style, which I don't know which fucking post that he said this in, but I promise you that's a post that he's put out. He was like, I got all these haters out here, but I'm going to keep trying to master the sketchy style. Like, he's made digging into fucking people's skins and making it look like he's used a number 2 pencil to draw a tattoo on somebody's arm into something that he calls the sketchy style. And I'm like, you have no fucking business with a tattoo machine,
calls it the
being in a
sketchy
professional
style.
shop, or wasting people's time that do work in professional shops, like my girlfriend, asking them any advice. If you can't look at the dog shit that you're putting out when you've worked your whole life around other artists that are more talented than you and grown up around people that are more talented than you, and be like, I need help in these directions, and be willing to work on it, your shit looks like garbage, and you shouldn't be allowed to do this on people.
Can we?
Fuck you, Brian.
So
Can I say something that we edited in before this whole thing? Brian Hughes, if you're having a bad day, don't listen to this today.
I was like, being sober is hard, huh?
I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and I want my credit, and don't bring the gun into the open mic I'm at.
That was amazing.
that was
Was
fucking.
that all one breath? Are
I
you
believe so.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say
know.
I don't have that kind of endurance. And
That's the not smoking.
Cody's like going back to normal color. He was like straight up red. He was like straight up like strawberry red by the end of that rant.
waiting for him to just like transform into a demon. Like, kill yourself.
I thought I was gonna go the other way. He was gonna go like, and then just stroke out. Like,
that's passion, though. You know, that's passion, and it's a good thing to
I
see.
think it's
get
misplaced
angry.
anger.
It's not misplaced. He's fucking people up, and people
Yeah, it's
shouldn't
terrible.
have this as an option. I mean, I guess you should if you're a fucking idiot. And then shitty tattoos are almost like a giant red flag of people to avoid. Like, oh, you have a fucking Pikachu neck tattoo that looks like half of it fucking scabbed off, and you scratch that from the Percocet withdrawal like minutes into it. All right, I know not to talk to you, or you're gonna ask me for money for the bus, which is just hair. The bus is heroin. That's what you want money for. Is heroin. Stop saying the bus. Tell the truth. But yeah, so I guess
Cody.
you should be allowed to tattoo people with shit ass fucking tattoos like that. But I don't know. It's
long-
an insult to the entire
How
craft
long
and
ago-
profession that I respect and love.
Did you used to be friends with the guy you guys said?
Never
or not?
friends, just like he was
Just in the
just
circles.
present. He
No,
was
so
just
like
present.
I would.
Hey, Cody.
I'd go hang out with
It's
my.
not your fault.
I'd go hang out with our friend.
Cody.
Fuck you, huh? Fuck you, nah, fuck you. Come
It's
on,
not
man.
your fault.
Nah, fuck you. I'm a terrible. I do no Boston accent. I do no accents correctly. What does he say every time? Just fuck you until he starts crying.
And he's like, not you. Don't do this to me. Not you.
I get the
You need a
s-
way
I get the
hairier
sermon
chest and
part.
arms for this.
I get the sermon part of the title now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody's becoming a fucking hate evangelist.
Can I become
Has anyone
one?
anyone podcasted from behind a podium yet? Is that something that's been done?
It'll
I feel like you
happen.
need. Is it called something different in a church than a podium? I don't know if they have a different name.
Pulpit.
Yeah.
See, okay,
pulpit.
they always have a different name. It's like chair, and they're like pew. You're like, okay,
It's a
pulpit.
fucking bench, asshole.
Yeah, straight up.
it's not even. It would be. They don't even have like a slightly different. It is a bench.
It's just a bench.
It's a super bench.
This goes into left field pretty quickly, but one of the greatest things that I ever saw involving a pulpit in my entire, or a pew or a bench or whatever you're talking about, is at my uncle's funeral.
Sick.
We were getting blackout drunk behind the church at his funeral, and then we get inside the church. Everyone's fucking crying and drunk off Jägermeister and fucking just acting like maniacs. People are snorting pills out of their fucking F-150s. It was a wild fucking funeral.
It's just
and
a normal Thursday in Ross.
That's what he would have wanted.
my grandma said, yeah, he was a fucking. He died of a fentanyl overdose. So
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
it was what
okay.
he probably would. He
I
was,
took a chance.
he was just trying to get normal heroin high, but yeah, fentanyl really set it over
Those
the edge.
Milford instincts kicked him perfectly.
This is Coleraine, thank you, but
I was saying-
I understand. Yeah, but so we are up there, and his best friend James, who's supposed to adopt his son, it's like his wishes because his old lady is also a heroin addict. So yeah, she lost custody already. So it's supposed to go to his best friend James, who's the one facilitating us getting blackout drunk. And my grandma, his mom's up there crying. He died in her house, and James in the middle of the end of the fucking of the preacher going on and on about. We know Chris wasn't a religious man, but I like to think that he's in the loving arms of God. And James gets up blackout drunk. He's like, hold on, and he gets up and he moves the preacher out of the way. I'm sorry, but I have to say this is all fucking bullshit. Chris didn't believe in God, and he fucking wouldn't want no Jesus being preached. We're at the church as a favor to the family. It didn't cost us any money to do it there because his friend John got sober and fucking is in good with the church, and we're getting blackout drunk out back and in the middle of the guy's sermon. He's getting up to fucking to tell the the whole church, including his crying mother, that this is horse shit and fuck all that. And, I'm sorry, but Chris wouldn't want all this fucking Jesus horse shit being talked at his fucking funeral. God damn it. And then he goes to get off the stage and he missteps and he falls face first into the pulpit of the thing and takes the whole thing down with him and busts his head open. So he's just sitting there bleeding all over his suit while his mom, Chris's mom, my grandma's in tears and I'm in tears and the whole thing's a mess, and his 10-year-old son's trying to comfort me because I'm fucking blackout drunk in the middle of it. But in hindsight,
that kid's gonna grow up to be a saint.
In hindsight, the funniest thing I've seen in a church happen with a church pulpit of all time.
I feel like he made a good point. I feel like there is not enough of that because so many. It's always like the parents or whatever, or somebody in the family that puts them in the church. And there's so many people who haven't stepped foot in a church in decades, and then But also, I think God made a good point in that story as well. So it's like I'm still divided. Like, should he have spoken up?
God just made me choke on my own spit.
That was incredible.
What were you gonna say? What was your point, Lloyd? Oh, you're dying right now.
You were like, oh, I was in tears. I'd have been in tears too. Totally different reason.
If I was less drunk, I could have seen the humor in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you think it's the first time I've laughed at a funeral.
Yeah, well, they just told me that it was a heroin overdose that killed him because they were lying to me that he had died of a heart attack. Which, in hindsight, what 33-year-old dies of a heart attack that's in relatively perfect health? Like, he just did time for heroin. Yeah, it's obviously a drug overdose, but did you have to tell me when I'm getting drunk at his funeral? Not the best timing. But yeah, what, you had the same thing happen?
Yeah, I had an uncle, my dad's older brother. He also died of an overdose in his truck outside of his house.
Jesus, Murphy.
Yeah, and they all told us for a couple of years it was a heart attack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were going to tell me eventually, but probably at the funeral, not the best time.
But what I always found like dark but funny at the time, because I always imagined it funny, was how he was found. My little cousin Emily had found him. She like got out of the truck and was like, "Hey, what's Carl doing over there?"
Oh man,
he's all blue in a locked car that's fucking
just bloated.
It's a hot car, his face all
shit.
swollen and purple.
Yeah.
That is hilarious, Luke. You're right.
Fast forward to today.
Side splitter.
Fast forward to today. The only way that little girl, the only way she can come now is seeing a dead body.
Nice. That's what I like to think.
Just only getting fucked in dark alleys with dead hobos.
This is your little cousin, sir.
No. She's
so naturally,
she's
that's
like
the only
2
place
years
she's
younger
getting
than
fucked.
me. She was really young at the time, though. Like, he died forever ago.
Yeah, she just like sneaks up to the like mortuary window.
Yeah.
Just like in a bush, just.
She's just as she's harder than I am when it comes to like partying and shit. Like,
well, I guess so.
So like her mom asked me to watch the house once while she was on vacation, and this is the house like I grew up in while being watched by her and my uncle, and I'm walking around with it with a joint, and I text her and I text my cousin Clint like, "Hey man, I'm about to smoke a joint in every single room in this house in your house that we grew up in." And she goes, "That's cool. I'm doing coke off of a toilet seat right now." Her and her friends were having a trip in Gatlinburg. You could have done coke on like the counter, like anywhere else. I don't know why it had to be on the toilet seat.
It's like Lloyd said. That's just the way she likes it now. And I mean, shit. The minute you said that, you go, "She's a hardcore partier." I'm like, well, was this her dad? This was her uncle? This was
her uncle.
I mean, yeah, she found her uncle fucking melting in a truck, and you don't. I mean, even if you don't go off the rails until after you graduate or something, it's gonna go hard.
Yeah. Now every time she has sex, one hand she has like a half melted candle, and the other one she's strangling a kitten.
Oh God. All right.
We're live. What are you doing?
So let's look at fucking Cody's list, right? Chris Chan documentary. Who the fuck is Chris Chan?
If I figured you of all people would know who the fuck Chris Chan is, but he's just a documentary that I was forced to watch by my girlfriend. Normally I'm all about, oh yeah, he's pulling up more Brian Yao. Man, I hope that Brian dies the way your uncle did. If I'm being honest.
and his little niece finds it, and then
Yeah. She can't fucking do cocaine unless she's getting fucked in the ass in the back of an Arby's parking lot.
Why does that look like that was drawn on with like Sharpie marker, dude?
I don't fucking. It looks like if you could actually tattoo with a crayon in your less dominant hand and just force it into somebody's skin. Looks like that's how this was produced.
that looks like it was drawn on with a bowling shoe. Like it doesn't even look like an actual instrument to make.
A bowling sheet. Can you I just imagine somebody's just fucking up somebody's skin with the edge of that hard ass fucking.
Just got a bunch of different ones that have like a different color stripe on the outside. rubbing it real
rubbing
hard.
it in there until it forces it into the skin. Yeah, it's horrific. Brian, stop fucking people's lives up with your tattoos and stop wasting everyone's time. Unless you're going to actually try to get better at what you do, and you're not because you're fucking lazy and you don't want to do it. And I know that because you've had years to practice, and this is what you want your career to be. I didn't pursue art as a career because I knew I wasn't going to take the time to get faster or more efficient at shit. I only do it out of desperation, Brian, whenever somebody's willing to let me scam them. And I tell them the whole time I don't want to do this, and you're getting ripped off and somebody could do it better, and they still want it, and I say okay. But you're telling people you're awesome at this, and fuck you for that, Brian.
Okay, so like, you guys ever watch like a movie or a TV show, and there's just that dickhead or that evil motherfucker that you can't wait for them to get their comeuppance, but they never do, or they get let off like lied or something, or no one ever lets them have it the way you think they should, and you're just like, man, if I was there, I'd be fucking saying this and this. Cody's that guy. Cody's actually saying, he's saying all the terrible things that you're like, I wish a motherfucker would tell him that.
I would
He's
tell this
saying
to
it.
Brian if I thought that he would get anything out of it, because Kayla did tell me one time, I think you should tell him, like, she was getting angry, like, that I was talking shit behind his back, and I was like, Kayla, do you think that I'm any way scared of telling Brian this? I just think that it would be a waste of my breath and time to say it to him, because this is a warning to other people and hopefully a shaming to him so that he quits doing it. But I don't care at all to have any conversation to change his mind, because if this is what you think of your shit, nothing that I say is going to get through to you, and it's just going to be a complete waste of my fucking time. Maybe it could save somebody else from being fucking ruined by this man.
Here's what you do. Show him Brendan Schaub's comedy special. Like, you see what happens when art goes wrong?
Yeah,
This is what
or
you're
you can
doing.
use it for a barometer of like,
Yeah.
what do you think is like?
do you think this is okay?
Yeah, how do you feel about what I've just presented?
This
to
is
you?
what
You use it
you're
as a
doing.
Rorschach test.
Let me try to give him a positive spin and maybe just go.
Christ! Stop with this positive spin. He doesn't need any more
It's not
positive.
as positive
He spent
as you
all
think.
of art school getting positive
I
spins.
say,
Go
this is
ahead.
Cal. The positive is going to be...
The positive is just tell people it's like your side gig. You know what I mean? Just be like, yeah, I do whatever is actually paying my bills, and then I sometimes I tattoo. Like, underplay it. Like, if I was like even if like the shit that I do, even if I did really good at it, which I mean, like, if this guy's a 30%, I'll give myself a 65. I don't do tattoos. You know what I mean? But on other I'm still being modest. But you know,
No,
just
if this
be
man
like,
is a
just downplay it. Be like,
0.14%, then you're a 65.
just go,
right?
just go. I do tattoos sometimes. You know what I mean? Just say that,
Or just go,
maybe
I'm
avoid
a-
situations
I'm an
like this.
occasional
Yeah,
tattoo
yeah,
artist.
to add
No,
I
don't do
dabble.
that either.
Hold on,
Say
no.
I dabble.
No,
hold
don't
on.
just quit doing it. Just
Hold
take
on.
that tattoo
I
machine,
dabble.
turn
Hold
it
on.
on, and bury it into both of your eyes so that you can't even have the opportunity to fuck somebody's life up with it ever again. Go
Cody's going
ahead.
to go home and stomp a puppy
If
to
you
death.
say I dabble and they still pay you to do it, now it's not his fault anymore.
Correct.
No, what? Here's how he does
Fair.
it. Go. I'm a DJ, and I also do tattoos as a form of modern art to show how you know it doesn't have to be good to be good.
Exactly, 'cause as
like
soon
just
as he
like
says
dress it up with
DJ
like artsy shit, because no one's gonna respect you after you say DJ to start with. If they're still in after that point, I don't care if you fuck up their skin because
Yeah.
they've done worse.
It's just an insult to the profession. I don't know. It's like when you see a bad contractor and you're like, well, I mean, if somebody didn't do their homework and fucking see what other jobs that he did and find out that he's bad at building decks and they fall through their deck, that's their fault. You could say that all fucking day long, but still, it's an insult to the goddamn profession. Also, those cigarettes dipped in PCP. I've seen you guys smoking these, just looking at the air, lighting the cigarettes. Like, is there a reason you're smoking those? For you, the beard, but is there like... And every time you guys
I
hit
was
him,
trying to hold it away from the
oh,
mic
okay.
cover, I think.
All right, sorry, I keep
I might
getting
just be spazzing over here. I
my
didn't even notice I
ADD
did it.
keeps kicking in every time you guys smoke a cigarette. And I was like, what new drug has Lloyd started doing that I'm not privy to? They don't look noticeably yellowed on the end, like they've been
nicotine.
dipped in a vial and shit like that. Yeah, the Chris Chan thing, did you want me to get into that before? It'll be the last thing before we get a Patreon, and then I've got a bunch of shit I want to talk about Bernie Mac.
That's fine.
You want to do that, or you want to do the McDojo life?
Let's do McDojo Life, for sure. Let's do McDojo Life instead. Fuck the Chris Chan documentary. I might not even talk about it.
Is McDojo Life like a collection of good tattoos so we can...
No,
It's precisely what it is.
McDojo life is to martial arts what that guy is to tattooing.
Okay.
This is like all of like the hack. Nobody.
And I can't wait to try to take their side on this.
Yeah, dude. You're like, well, I mean, if you dabble in martial arts, you could sell it
already.
as, I'm a dojo dabbler. I'm not-
Already, based on their name, it kind of seems like it's all a little McDonald's-y,
battery's
you know what I
like
mean? Like, as soon as I
It's
read it,
working
I just
now.
think McDonald's, so I'm thinking
Whoops.
McDonald's of martial arts.
Well, that's what they did. That's the point of the name. It's like
Oh, it is? They did that on
McDojo.
purpose? I
Yeah.
thought I was being clever.
Yeah, they were. They were. You were being clever the same way they were.
Okay, so I'm just basically them. I better leave.
No, this is one of the most successful pages on Instagram.
Oh, it
Apparently,
is?
you're onto something.
Check this one out. This is the one that cringed me out the hardest. This is what made me really fucking like it'll make your what Opie and Anthony used to call douche chills. Just like douche chills down your spine the
I
entire
would be
time.
embarrassed to admit how much time I've spent watching this shit.
I spent hours just sitting here like Lloyd's gonna love this, not realizing that Lloyd's the one that showed me this page. Thanks, drugs and alcohol. I'm remembering stuff now that I'm sober. Fucking, but yeah. So check this one out. Just the audio alone will speak for itself. Hold on. Headphones in, Luke. You fucking professional podcast maker
Yeah,
of over
yeah,
300
yeah.
hours of doing podcasts for over 4 years together, every week, never missing an episode. Son of a bitch. All right.
Come through, step behind. Again, all locked up here. He's got you tied up. This guy's about ready to strike. Step behind and on the other side, and then stand up. And this is going to use this guy against
wait.
this guy. When I stand up quickly, he's going to go flying, and this foot is going to, depending on how close this guy is going to come up and get him right in the schnuggies here.
And the Schnuggies.
How do you feel about that video and his technique and his destruction of the other man's schnuggies?
He looks like the kind of guy he's wearing full like U.S. military type of garb, like the camo pants, the belt, the tight
He looks like he
Under
fights
Armour
for the
shirt.
IDF. He's
No.
in full
No.
IDF
No.
gear.
He's the
No,
dude.
he looks like the kind of guy who's wearing all that, and you're and someone who does serve goes like, "Hey man, where'd you serve?" And you're like, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't. I had a hamstring injury when I was coming out of high school because I was playing football, right? So I didn't join." But I know a lot of people who did. I got a lot of friends who served, and he starts naming where they went to base and
He
stuff.
goes, I got kicked out of basic because they couldn't handle me. One of those guys.
I would have yelled at the. I would have yelled at the.
they just didn't even understand my mentality, man. Like when I get into a certain mode, like
I just see
You just
red.
can't
I just
stop.
see red,
You just-
and then I just wake up, and there'll just be like a pile of bodies underneath.
The problem I
when I
have.
see this guy, the first thing I think is this is a guy who got fired from a high school teaching ROTC for like asking girls for their number, and then his only like go to was like, oh, as long as I look this way, I can teach, hand to hand combat to fucking morons.
Yeah, and that's
to
exactly
other me's who didn't make an
Yeah,
Instagram.
to other to other guys that didn't fucking pass the psych eval to be a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
other
listen,
40-year-old men that are using a dial-up modem and have no way of seeing that this is all bullshit just by doing a quick Google search.
If you're looking to go into like learning some self-defense and you go into a dojo and you have a man who looks similar to this 80-year-old bald man, not a hair on his body, wearing Adidas sweatpants and a black tee with his belt on, you better turn right back around. You need to get out of there. You're learning self-defense at the wrong dojo.
I think the main problem was in his description of the technique. He said this leg will fly out and hit that guy depending on how close that guy is. And I feel like when it comes to defending yourself, it shouldn't have like a
Caveat.
depending clause. Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, if he just is still a kind of a foot further back than you expected,
Then you're fucked.
Like as long as he's not smart enough to take one step backwards.
It's like the thing they always like. There was a I don't remember who did it. There was a stand-up joke about that Karate Kid kick at the end where he's like, as long as the guy runs into my foot, like that's basically what this guy's saying. He's like, depending on if he is where the foot is. If he's where the foot is, then you're good.
Like this guy looks like he has a Steven Seagal poster above his bed today, like still
100%.
today.
Yeah, without a doubt. He watches The Asian Connection every single night as he goes to sleep. He's a grown man that refers to another man's balls as schnuggies, which is the douchiest shit I've ever. Every time I rewatch it and hear him say it, it makes me just like seize up and turtle inside of my shell.
And it's
just,
not even one that you've heard. Like if he said no-nos, it would still be pretty fucked up. But you're like, okay, I've heard no-nos before, but I've never heard anyone say schnuggies.
Yeah, it's a horrific word to describe your nutsack with.
That's
Use
a word
anything
he
but
uses
that.
in private time.
I think it's a Care Bear.
Ugh. It just
Schnuggy
Sounds
bear.
like, it sounds like a character off of VeggieTales or something. Like,
yeah, and
this is Schnuggy the eggplant. Like,
if
It
the whole
sounds like what he did
dojo's
to those ROTC girls in high school. They gave them a schnuggie.
I just wanted to see if they wanted to come over and Schnuggy.
if your self-defense class is led by a 50-year-old white dude, like just turn around. If they're all just like bald, just fucking effeminate-looking other white dudes, get out of there. Unless the dude looks like Lloyd, he's 6 feet tall, he's got tattoos on his fucking neck and face. Like, don't. You need Brazilians in there and dudes that are 5 foot tall with fucking cinder block heads and cauliflower ears. If you don't see that when you walk in, get the fuck out of there. You ain't learning shit.
Well, so what I've always told people, because like I was involved in that world for a long time. If the person teaching you doesn't have the energy, like I can beat your ass, like if you don't feel it coming from them, like because people who genuinely project that aren't trying to. Like when you walk in and you meet somebody who for real knows their shit, you
Could feel it in the air around
You'll
him.
know it. You'll be like, I probably shouldn't say anything fucked up to this guy. Like he can look like this little bald pudgy man that looks like his day could be ruined by a donut. But if he carries himself in a way where it's like, oh yeah, that guy might fuck me up, then yeah, maybe he does know something. Because I've met a lot of
That
instructors
dude
and
might
stuff.
fuck himself up trying to fuck me up.
Right, but-
All right, but
Break both his
I am
ankles.
not scared of him. He could be a black belt in everything, but he's gonna shatter his body trying to fuck me up.
I'm just saying, I've met some guys that are legit that just have been, doing it for 45 fucking years. So when you first see them, you're like, I'm gonna fucking learn from Barney Fife here, like,
Yeah.
and then
Hey, that'd be tight.
you actually get to understand what they do, and you're like, oh no, that guy could kill me with his hands.
Yeah.
So I'm saying not necessarily just the way they look, but yeah, it's if you're like, I can beat up everybody in this room, they're not going to teach you self-defense. Like if you walk in and immediately go, I can fuck up 90% of the people I see, you don't need to be there.
Yeah, I want to keep talking about McDojo life, but we've come to our hour point. So let's do our ad reads, and if you guys want to hear the rest of this conversation with Cal and all the other shit that we've got planned for the Patreon, go to the Bastard Sermon or patreon.com/the Bastard Sermon, or just Google the Bastard Sermon. It'll come up. $5. You get our whole backlog of all of our previous episodes. Episodes come out. The free episode comes out a day early, and then you get the entire backlog plus a free Patreon episode per week. And we're in talks to do a movie podcast as well as Lloyd and Luke's UFC or MMA style podcast. Maybe that shit's coming. Possibly, we'll see. But at least one Patreon a week.
We enjoy
Check that
it.
shit
We've
out.
talked about it a few times. Cody's forcing it. We'll
Also, though, how
probably make it happen.
clever was that off the top of my head, the name?
Don't blow it yet. Don't.
I'm not.
It was great. It was fantastic. Lloyd's got a really good name for the podcast. It's going to be tight. It's movie related. I think you guys will fucking enjoy it. Check it out. This episode, as all episodes, is sponsored by the amazing, the talented, the incredible, the long dick wizard, Anthony Tank Mansfield. Go and check out his line of beer glasses, his custom art starting at $30, his t-shirts, enamel pins, and his podcast, What You Into, where he talks about hobbies and collections. I'll be coming back to talk Quentin Tarantino shit, or listen to the first episode I did about comedy, or Luke's Gundam episode. Go and he's a great guy. Support him. He's local. Fucking Kneel to No One. Check that brand out on Instagram at Kneel to No One or his website kneeltoknoone.com. Love you, Mansfield. Luke.
We are also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. If you want the best, most amazing, top-of-the-line quality glassware, you want to head over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. They've got water pipes. They've got bowls. They've got vaporizers. They have Delta 8 if you want Delta 8. or if you want Delta 8 carts, you can go on over there and get some. They've got the best prices. They won't cheat you like most other smoke shops do. They get everything at a reasonable price, and they sell it also at a reasonable price. Check out the episode we did with them. They can explain everything about their business model. If you want, you can find Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop at one of 2 locations. They have one at 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071, and another at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249. And let them know you're a bastard, and you can get 15% off your order. And I hope Lloyd dies.
The whole time that Luke does that read, Lloyd literally just mouths the entire time.
And I can't look at him. I have
up.
to look down. I have to look everywhere else but in that direction.
That's phenomenal. This episode, as all episodes, is sponsored by the Dark Mountain Cult. Patrick doesn't actually sponsor us, but I'm going to read it every single time because he helped start this podcast, and we wouldn't have gotten to the point that we're at without Patrick, no matter how many times Luke rolls his eyes and talks shit about our friend that...
Our friend!
Okay, just because Pat and Luke hate each other and have hated each other since we started this podcast doesn't mean that I don't like Pat. So we can give him a little bit of respect. Yeah, well, let's save this for off the mic. Anyways, we're sponsored by him. We're gonna support our boy that helped start this podcast.
You will.
And got our fucking Instagram followers and Facebook followers up to the point where it's at. Even though that you're the social media guy, if we're gonna point fingers. Thanks, Pat, for doing that for us. So also go and check out the Dark Mountain Cult.
He had one job. He did nothing else. Anyways.
Okay, go and check out the Dark Mountain Cult, where he does a bunch of fucking cool artwork that you can get tattooed on you, fucking get it airbrushed on your car, crumple the prints up and jam them up your asshole. I don't care what you do with them. Go and support Patrick. Go and get some fucking art done by him. He can do all kinds of shit. And his shit's awesome, and he's going to be doing a streaming channel, and no matter how much Luke stares at the ceiling and fucking bitch moans and complains about, he quit without telling anybody about it. It fucking pisses me off, and I have freckles on my penis. Doesn't matter.
Shallow.
I'm still going to keep fucking supporting our boy Patrick Seda. Go and fucking check his shit out. Go buy his stuff. Lloyd, what are you promoting?
I said this podcast is also sponsored by, and by sponsored by, I mean I let them record in my apartment. Fuck you, we like the Bengals. The football season's about to start back up. If you like football or just roast jokes, because it's mostly just us roasting whatever team the Bengals are playing. Previous guest Alex Schubert and I record a podcast called Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.
Cal, wait, before you run to go have diarrhea in Lloyd's bathroom, do you have anything that you want to promote? Any upcoming gigs? Any Instagram, YouTube channels? Any HBO specials that you want to plug that you've done
Friends
lately?
podcast.
Yeah, watch anything on HBO that you find enjoyable, and then think of me during it. I do. I don't do any tattoos, but if you like artwork that looks like it was from Super Nintendo in the 90s, I have an Instagram. I do a little bit of pixel artwork. Don't pull it up because I know how you guys feel about other people's artwork.
No, I'm sure it's great. Are you
it's
tattooing
digital.
it in the back of a fucking Trader's World
No,
fucking
no.
stable that used to house horses?
I just do it
Then-
getting drunk on a table with a Drawly tablet. It's digital.cg. I think it's digital. Let me look before I don't even know the name of my own thing. But I don't even know why I'm plugging it. It's not like it's fucking money. But yeah, digital.cj. That's on Instagram, and then my regular one, which I don't post to until I have shows, is Cal the Tolerable. No spaces, no dots. Both on Instagram. Masturbate to me.
Fuck yeah, dude. What's your OnlyFans? I'll subscribe right now. This is tight. This is worlds better than anything that Brian Yahoo has even considered fucking
Fuck
putting
with
together.
it.
I love this. Is that Pedo Bear? All right, interesting.
No, it's just a bear.
Sure it is. Yeah, this is great. I fucking love this.
Yeah,
All right.
dude, this is dope. I don't know why you.
Yeah, Brian,
like
look
it.
this up and then kill yourself to this page if you could. But give him a follow first. Why do you only have 64 followers? Somebody follow this fucking page. Dude, follow fucking digital.cj. This is dope. All right, if you like where this conversation's going and you want to listen to Cal after he has explosive diarrhea in Lloyd's bathroom, then patreon.com/thebastardsermon. Suck my dick, lick my balls, eat my ass.